Lulu's. That's where you met Johnny Cash.
I met him earlier.
You did?
Yeah.
Is that in relationship to that photograph that I have?
No, that was long before the photograph.
Oh, was it?
Long before the photograph. Like anybody else, I mean, I grew up knowing of Johnny Cash. Never dreamed I'd ever meet him, but eventually got a job in radio, and I was working in Kitchener at the time. And Johnny was playing at the center of the square, and I got to interview him backstage in 1987 or 88.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later is when he played at Lulu's, and I got to actually introduce him on stage both shows, because the first time he played there, he was not feeling well, and he said, I'm not doing a good show, but I'd really love to come back the second time and put on a better show for you. And he did.
Yeah.
And it was just a fantastic show.
Yeah.
Great performance.
Good. And what year was that?
The years he played at Lulu's, I'm not absolutely positive, but it probably would have been the early 90s, 91, I think, and probably a year later after that. But that first time I met him before Lulu's was interesting, because I got to actually sit down and interview him. And
do you still have that interview tape? By
yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Maybe I could take a snippet of it.
Sure, yeah. And I interviewed June backstage as well, too. They had separate dressing rooms at the time. But I was warned ahead of time by his road manager, be careful, because the night before, a radio guy had gone back to interview Johnny Cash, and the road manager told me that radio guy's first question to Johnny was, "So John, when was the last time you were on drugs?" And the guy said, I threw him out right then and there, and if you do anything like that too, I'm going to throw you out too. I didn't need to hear that. I really didn't. But we sat and talked. The road manager was sitting next to Johnny, and I was sitting right across from him. We talked about his first record, which was 78 RPM, Kate Porter and Cry, Cry, Cry. Sam Phillips gave him a copy of that, and Johnny went running down the street to the local radio station. The DJ played one side of the song and went to go put the record over, and it broke. And the story Johnny told me was, he went back to Sam and said, I don't know what I'm going to do, Sam. It's like my career's all over. He thought only one copy of the song had been made. And Sam said, you fool, there's a whole box of them over there. Take them home with you. Give them away. That sort of stuff. We talked about a whole bunch of other things, too, like when he got fired from the Grand Ole Opry. And then afterwards, the best part was, the road manager came up to me as he walked me out of the room and said, that was great. You guys talked about stuff even I didn't know.
Brilliant.